I slammed the heavy oak door of my therapist's office that afternoon, the echo chasing me down the marble hallway like a bad conscience I didn't deserve. 12 years ago, my own flesh and blood, my son, Ethan, looked me dead in the eye and spat. "You're not family anymore, Mom. Just a liability." He'd just turned 18, fresh off framing me for his embezzlement scam from my late husband's construction firm, and I took the fall like the idiot martyr I was raised to be. 5 years in a hellhole prison for fraud I never touched, losing everything: the house in Pasadena, my dignity, my name. But that wasn't the worst part. The real gut punch came 6 months ago, in a sterile underground clinic in Reno, when some black market neurosurgeon with a god complex flipped a switch and swapped my brain into the skull of Victoria Hale, tech heiress extraordinaire. Now, here I was, staring at my reflection in the mansion's floor-to-ceiling windows, blonde waves instead of my mousy brown bob, cheekbones sharp as a Hollywood knife, and an $8 million pile of glass and steel overlooking the Pacific. Revenge? It tasted like champagne and battery acid. And when the intercom buzzed that evening with Ethan's voice, hoarse, desperate, begging entry, I didn't hesitate. Security. I purred into the phone, my new voice silky as Victoria's designer scarves. "We've got an intruder at the gate." "Make it hurt." You think body swapping sounds like sci-fi bullshit? Try telling that to the feds who'd been chasing Victoria Hale's disappearance for weeks before I woke up in her skin. It started with a tip from an old cellmate, Rita, who'd clawed her way out of the joint and into the underbelly of Silicon Valley's wet dreams. "Hazel, baby," she'd whispered over smuggled contraband calls. "There's this doc in the desert. Does full neural transfers. Rich fucks pay millions to ditch their wrecked bodies for fresh ones. You in?" I was rotting in a halfway house, nursing a liver pickled by prison hooch and regrets, watching Ethan thrive on Instagram, private jets, trophy wives, the works built on the bones of my sacrifice. I'd confess to the DA, perjury and all, to keep him out of cuffs. For family, I'd lied to myself. But family? That word curdled in my gut like bad takeout. Rita hooked me up with Dr. Elias Crow, a disgraced MIT prodigy who'd pioneered neural mapping for DARPA before Uncle Sam cut the cord. His clinic was a converted Cold War bunker, humming with servers that looked like they could hack the Pentagon. "It's not magic," he drawled in that Ivy League drawl, eyes gleaming behind wire rims. "It's precision. Your memories, your soul, whatever you call it, gets etched into her neocortex. Her body's yours. Clean slate. Hazel. No traces." Victoria Hale was perfect bait. 42. CEO of Hale Dynamics, a drone empire raking in billions from defense contracts. But she was dying, rare autoimmune shredding her nerves, turning her into a twitchy ghost haunting boardrooms. She'd source me from a database of volunteers, ex-cons desperate for a do-over. I signed the waivers in blood-red ink, heart pounding like a jackhammer. The surgery? 11 hours of darkness. Probes worming into my skull. The whine of machines drowning out my screams. Woke up gasping. Her hands, flailing at crisp white sheets in a recovery suite that screamed money. Mirror confirmed it. I was her. Tits perky. Legs endless. A tattoo of a phoenix on my hip I'd never inked. But the voice in my head? Still mine. Gravelly from years of chain-smoking camels. "Welcome to Second Life." "Yes." "Hale," Crow murmured, handing me a dossier thicker than a Bible. "Passwords. Mannerisms. Skeletons in the closet. Victoria's fiancé. Marcus. A venture capitalist with a jawline like a Marvel villain. Bought the miracle recovery story hook, line, and sinker. The board? They ate it up. Stock prices spiking on the comeback queen narrative. First week was a blur of power plays. I strode into Hale Dynamics' glass fortress in Century City, channeling Victoria's Ice Queen vibe from the videos Rita smuggled me. "Gentlemen," I said, dropping a bombshell acquisition deal on the conference table. "We're pivoting to AI surveillance. Borders, cities, your nosy neighbor's backyard, nothing's off limits." Gasps. Then applause. Power surged through me like heroin, hot and forbidden. But underneath, a ledger of scores to settle. Ethan topped it. I'd hacked Victoria's Rolodex, found his contact buried in her charity donor list. A quick reverse search confirmed he'd lawyered up post-scandal, pivoted to crypto scams, living large in a WeHo loft. No remorse posts. No, sorry. Mom DMs. Just yacht pics and humble brags. I'd ghosted him for months, letting the silence fester. Let him think Victoria was just another mark. That night, as security dragged him kicking through the rain-slicked gates, Ethan, all grown up at 30, stubble shadowing a face that mirrored my old one, I watched from the balcony, robe cinched tight against the chill. He thrashed against the guard's grips, yelling, "Vic! Victoria! Please! It's me, Ethan. I need your help." His eyes, wild and bloodshot, locked on mine. For a split second, recognition flickered. Or was it paranoia? I sipped my Macallan, the burn steadying my pulse. "Tell him," I murmured into my earpiece. "MS. Hale doesn't know you. Trespassing's a felony. Next time, we press charges." The guards zip-tied him to a squad car, his curses fading into the storm. Inside, I poured another glass, toasting the woman I'd buried. To the son who'd buried me first. But as the adrenaline ebbed, doubt crept in like fog off the ocean. What if he knew? What if this new skin was thinner than I thought? The next morning, headlines blared. Hale Dynamics stock soars on surveillance pivot. Analysts called it bold, borderline dystopian. Protests brewed outside the office. ACLU types waving signs about privacy Armageddon. I thrived on it. The controversy fueling boardroom wins. Marcus proposed over brunch at the Ivy, ring glinting like a handcuff. "You're unbreakable, Vic," he said, kissing my knuckles. "Unbreakable? Try remade." I said yes, plotting how his connections could bury Ethan deeper. But Rita called that afternoon. Voice hushed. Crows spooked. Hazel. Feds sniffing around the bunker. And get this, Victoria's original bodies showing anomalies. "Your old shell? It's active." Active? I laughed it off. But sleep evaded me that night. Dreams of Ethan's childhood, soccer games in the valley heat, his gap-toothed grin, warped into courtroom nightmares. Me in orange, him smirking from the gallery. By week's end, Ethan was out on bail, courtesy of a public defender who painted him as a down-on-his-luck entrepreneur. His ex-posts? A sob story, rejected by the elite. Family betrayal, hustle hard. Like sport in the internet's fickle mercy. I monitored from my war room, a Hale Dynamics nerve center in the mansion's basement. Screens flickering with drone feeds from Kabul to Compton. One feed caught my eye, Ethan, huddled in a dingy motel off Sunset, dialing numbers frantically. Mom, if you're out there. I fucked up. My blood ran cold.
Mom.
Not Vic. He couldn't know. Could he? Crow texted then. We need to talk. Your neural graft, it's destabilizing. Memory's bleeding.
Bleeding?
I smashed the phone. Shards scattering like my sanity. Revenge was a razor wire. And I just nicked an artery. 2 weeks into my Victoria era, the cracks showed. I'd aced a Senate hearing on drone ethics, stonewalling questions about civilian overreach with that hail charm, all smiles and deflections. National security isn't optional. Senator, I quipped, earning chuckles from the suits. Back home, Marcus threw a re-engagement gala, A-listers swarming the mansion like sharks to chum. I floated through, air-kissing influencers and dodging whispers about my miraculous recovery. But Ethan haunted the edges, his bail hearing splashed across TMZ. Eris's mystery intruder, stalker or scorn lover? I laughed publicly. But privately, I doubled the security detail. Installed facial rec cams tuned to his mug. No mercy, I told a head guard. A ex-SEAL named Jax with a scar like a lightning bolt. If he shows, taste first, ask later. Rita flew in from Reno, crashing on the guest wing with a duffel of burner phones and Crow's black market meds. You're slipping, girl, she said over midnight tacos from a truck on P. Sauce dripping like accusations. Saw you freeze at the gala when that waiter dropped a tray, flinched like your old prison reflexes kicked in. She was right. Victoria's body was a Ferrari, sleek, responsive, but the engine sputtered. Migraines hit like freight trains, visions flashing, my hands, calloused from factory shifts, not her manicured claws. And voices, hers, faint and furious, echoing in my skull. You stole my life. You thief. I popped Crow's suppressants, chasing them with Vicodin swiped from the medicine cabinet. It's integration, Rita insisted, but her eyes said otherwise. She dug deeper. Victoria hadn't volunteered me clean. She'd handpicked me from prison records, a nobody who'd tanked for her son's sins. Coincidence? Bullshit. That's when the betrayal layers peeled back. Victoria's dossier hit a vault, encrypted drives in her safe. Combo her wedding date to a starter husband. I cracked it at 3 a.m. Laptop glowing like a confessional. Files on Ethan, emails from a decade back. Him pitching her his disruptive crypto fund. She'd invested. Big. But when the SEC raided, he pinned it on me, his mom. The unstable widow. Victoria? She'd coached him. Ghostwritten the frame job. All to protect her portfolio. Collateral. One memo read. Hazel Whitaker. Expendable. My stomach heaved. She'd watched from afar, sipping rose at galas while I rotted. And the swap? Her Hail Mary. Dying. Desperate. She'd lured me with Rita's pipe dream, knowing I'd bite. Crow was her plant, the whole oppa suicide pact, her brain in my body, mine and hers. But something glitched, the transfer incomplete, her essence lingering like a virus. Ethan's next move came via certified mail, a crumpled letter shoved under the gate. Security waving it off as junk. Mom, it's me. I know it's you in there. Vic's gone. But you're not her. Please. I need you. My hands shook, ink smudging on silk stationery. How? A hunch from the intruder night. His eyes boring too deep? Or Crow's leak? Rumors of a ghost in the machine? I burned it in the fireplace. flames devouring his scrawl.
But sleep?
Forget it. Marcus stirred beside me, murmuring stock tips in his sleep. I slipped out, pacing the infinity pool deck, waves crashing below like accusations. Revenge crystallized then, not just exposure, but erasure. I'd leverage Hale Dynamics' arsenal, drones with facial targeting, AI deepfakes, to dismantle his world. Start small. Leak his crypto ledgers to the IRS. Watch the audits swarm. Morning brought escalation. Protests swelled outside Hale HQ. No spy in my sky, chants echoing off the towers. A whistleblower, Crow. Drop docs to Wired, neural tech horrors. Body tourism for the elite. Shares dipped 8%. Board called emergency Zoom. Faces pinched like dried prunes. Victoria. This pivot's toxic, the chairman growled. Reel it in. I leaned into the camera. Victoria's smile weaponized. Or what? Oust me? Try it, I'll burn the house down. Controversy was oxygen. I breathed it. Thriving as media dubbed me, the drone witch. Marcus seethed privately. You're scaring investors. Babe, but stayed, addicted to the chaos. That night, Ethan's face popped on a drone feed, him slipping into a dive bar in Koreatown, meeting a shady type with a laptop. Wire transfer? Blackmail pitch? I dispatched a bird, Hale's prototype. Silent as sin, to hover. Recording every syllable. Tell Hale I'm family, he slurred. Shots lining his veins. She owes me. Family. The word twisted like a knife. Rita bailed next day. Jet back to Reno with a warning. Crows vanished. Feds raided the bunker, found your old body. Hazel.
It's
Walking. Walking? My husk. Comatose post-op. Now ambulatory? Visions assaulted me in the gym. Mid-burpee. A figure in scrubs. Shambling through desert scrub. Eyes, my eyes, blank but hunting. I collapsed. Marcus rushing in with Gatorade and concern. Stress.
Vic.
Take a spa day. Spa day? I needed an exorcism. But resolve hardened. I greenlit Project Revenant, AI neural scans to map and maybe erase lingering ghosts. Test subject?
Me.
Crow had backups. I'd hack them. Purge Victoria's echo. Meanwhile, Ethan's world crumbled. Anonymous tips flooded his inbox, me, through proxies. Bank accounts frozen. Lovers vanishing. His loft evicted. He posted rants. Someone's out to get me. Paranoia.
Good.
Let it fester. Then the call. Unknown number. Voice mine raspy. Unbroken. Hazel? It's Victoria. In your skin. Come get me.
Click.
Line dead. Heart hammering. I traced it. Payphone in Barstow. Near the bunker. Trap? Truth? I grabbed keys to the Bentley. Speeding east on I-10. Wind whipping doubts. Desert loomed. Joshua trees clawing the sky. At mile marker 147. A hitchhiker, rail thin. In my old jeans. Face gaunt but familiar.
Me.
Her.
Us.
She grinned. Teeth yellowed from neglect. Miss me? Thief. Controversial decisions? This was apocalypse now. I floored it past, but she waved down a trucker. Chase or flee? I chose hunt. Barstow's a shithole of motels and meth labs. The kind of place where dreams go to die under neon buzz. I checked into the Desert Rose faded pink stucco. AC rattling like tuberculosis. paying cash from Victoria's endless Amex. The me from the highway had vanished into trucker traffic, but her taunt echoed, thief. Was she piloting my corpse with Victoria's brain intact? Crow's glitch meant dual transfers, two souls in limbo, clawing for dominance. I bolted the door. Laptop open to Hale's dark web feeds. Drones scoured the grid. Heat sigs pinged a flop house 3 blocks out.
Ethan? No sign.
But him, my boy, the architect of my downfall, loomed larger. His latest scam, pitching investors on a revenge app, doxing tools for the jilted. Irony? I'd fund it anonymously. Let him build his noose. Dawn broke dusty. Coffee bitter as regret. Rita texted coordinates. Crow's safe house. An Airstream trailer off Route 66. I drove. Windows down. Classic rock blasting, Springsteen wailing about ghosts in the heartland. America the beautiful. My ass, this was the underbelly, where the powerful dumped their trash. Trailer squatted amid creosote bushes. Door ajar. Inside, chaos. Servers gutted. Papers shredded. A hypodermic glinting on the Formica counter. Blood trail led to the bedroom. Crow slumped against the wall. Throat slit ear to ear. Suicide?
No.
Angles wrong. Murder.
His laptop.
Miraculously intact. Auto-unlocked on a video log. Day 47 post-op, he wheezed. Face pale as milk. Graft rejection accelerating. Subject A, Hazel, stable and host. But Subject V. She's overriding. Synapses firing rogue. If she regains motor control, cut off by a crash. Off-screen, my old body lunging. My hands around his neck. Victoria. She'd killed him to cover tracks. Files spilled secrets. Victoria's real play. Not just survival, domination. She'd orchestrated Ethan's frame on me years back, not as collateral, but bait. Knew I'd take the fall. It bonded him to her. A twisted mentor-son duo. Emails chronicled it. Train him ruthless.
Vic.
Like father. Her dad, a Watergate-era fixer. Black books full of DC dirt. Ethan was her protege. Groomed for Hale's throne. The swap? Phase 2. Me as disposable shell for her escape. Ethan inheriting the empire clean. But the glitch trapped her in my wreck. Me in her palace. Power inverted. I downloaded it all. USB burning in my pocket like contraband. Drive back to LA blurred, cop sirens in the rearview. Paranoia spiking. Feds, Victoria's echo tipping them, mansion awaited. Marcus hosting a donor brunch, politicos schmoozing over avocado toast. Drones demoed on the lawn like party favors. I slipped in late. Victoria's laugh masking my tremor. Darling, Marcus beamed, arms snaking my waist. Where have you been? Board meeting? Errands, I murmured, scanning faces. No, Ethan. But a new guest, Senator Langford. Hawkish eyes on the surveillance bill I greased. MS. Hale. Your tech's a game changer. Borders secure. But at what cost? Cost? My sanity.
Buddy.
I clinked glasses. Toasting progress, while mentally plotting, leak Crow's vids to Langford anonymously. Turn the tables. Make Hale's empire choke on its own drones. Ethan struck that evening. Not at the gate, at the gala after-party. Crashing via service entrance. Caterer uniform pilfered. I spotted him in the solarium. Spiking punch with what smelled like GHB. Eyes darting. Target? Marcus. Schmoozing a Saudi prince. I intercepted, cornering him behind potted palms. What the fuck?
Kid.
I hissed. Voice low, Hazel's gravel peeking through. He froze.
La demi-tour.
Mom? Holy shit. It is you. Up close. Ravages showed. Track marks on his arms. Pupils pinpricks.
How?
I grabbed his wrist. Nails digging.
Crow.
He bragged before ghosting neural swap. Right? You can Vic's head. Genius. But why the cold shoulder? I need you. Need? For his scams. His dirt. Betrayals echo. He'd sell me out again. We grappled, whispers turning to shoves, until Jax hauled him off. Tasers humming. Intruder. Guests gasped. Phones out. Viral gold. Ethan thrashed. She's not Victoria. Check her, scars on the hip. None. Chaos erupted. Marcus dialing lawyers. I retreated to the study. Pulse thundering. He'd seen the tattoo, Victoria's phoenix. My anchor.
Close call.
But his words gnawed. Genius. Flattery? Or ploy? I patched into the basement feeds. My old body, Victoria. Pinged in Vegas. ATM cam catching her withdrawing from my pre-prison savings. Small potatoes. But deliberate.
Taunt.
She was building an army, hiring hackers from dark web boards, promising eternal youth for loyalty. Decisions darkened. I authorized drone strikes, not lethal, but warning. Ethan's loft firebombed remotely. Accident via gas leak. He survived. Posting from a hospital bed. Targeted. Help. Sympathy swelled. Crowdfunding his persecution. Controversial? Hell yes. Arson on a disowned son. Even a traitor. But the rush? Euphoric. Marcus confronted me post-incident. Vic. This paranoia, it's ruining us. Therapy. I laughed, pulling him close. Or divorce. He blanched.
Backpedaling.
Power's aphrodisiac, but isolation's price. Rita called. Vegas lead, Victoria's rallying rejects. Ex-cons like us. Promise swaps. My tribe. Turned against me. Climax brewed at a Hale retreat in Big Sur, execs bonding over kale smoothies and trust falls. I arrived by chopper. Windswept. Victoria's armor cracking. Ethan hacked the guest list. Arriving as consultant. Confrontation inevitable. Over cliffside bonfire. Flames licking redwoods. He cornered me. Mom. End this. Give me the company, your half. We're blood. Blood? I'd bled for him. Literally, veins tapped for pre-op scans. Blood washes off. I snarled. You made me a ghost. He lunged, hug or choke. But drones whirred overhead. My silent sentinels. Call them off. Tension coiled. Guests oblivious. Toasting mergers. I whispered the override. Birds hovering like judgment. Then twists whisper. A burner buzzed in my clutch. Victoria's voice, mine crackling. Big Sur?
Cute.
But Ethan's mine. Hazel. Always was.
Click.
Mine? The protege lie deepened. Big Sur's cliffs drop sheer into the Pacific. A siren's call for the suicidal or the vengeful. I stood at the edge post-confrontation. Bonfire smoke stinging my, Victoria's, eyes. Waves pounding like a migraine. Ethan had slunk off. Drones herding him to a waiting SUV. But his plea lingered, where blood. blood that bound and betrayed, a noose disguised as umbilical. Guests milled below, laughter tinny against the roar, oblivious to the fracture lines spiderwebbing my facade. Marcus found me there, scotch in hand, tie loose like a concession. Vic, talk to me. This Ethan guy's got you spooked. Security footage shows him grabbing you. We sue.
Sue?
For what? Filial rights. I turned, wind tugging my hair, and saw it, his eyes. Calculating. Weighing asset against liability. Like father. Like son. No, I said, voice steady. We invite him in. The decision hit like vertigo, controversial as inviting a rattler to tea. But revenge evolved. Not destruction, but corruption. Let him close. Watch him squirm. Extract confession on tape. Marcus balked. He's unhinged, but I overrode. Hail CEO Fiat. Next morning, over room service eggs Benedict. I wired Ethan a truce. $50,000 consulting fee. NDA attached.
He bit.
Arriving at the mansion midday. Scrubbed clean in chinos and a button-down, but twitchy as an addict mid-withdrawal. Jax frisked him at the door, clean, then led to the sunroom. Glass walls framing ocean vistas. I waited, perched on a white leather sectional. Tablet in lap, drone logs open. Victoria's trail hot in Vegas. Mom, he started. No preamble. Sinking into cushions like quicksand. Or Vic. Whatever. Thanks for the bailout. His smile, my smile. Crooked, didn't reach eyes hollowed by hustles. I nodded. Pouring Pellegrino. Sit. Talk. He spilled. Crypto crash. Bad loans. The man chasing debts. Omission glaring. No apology for the frame. The disownment. You said I wasn't family, I prompted. Voice Victoria's velvet over hazel steel. He shifted. Fingers drumming. Heat of the moment. Dad's firm tanking, I panicked. Thought you'd understand. Understand? I'd birthed him in a sweltering Queens hospital. Changed diapers through night shifts at the diner. Buried his father while he partied frat style. Sacrifice, I murmured. That's family. He leaned in. Conspiratorial. Exactly. Vic, your setup? Genius. Crow's tech could flip the world. Let me in, I'll run ops. We merge Whitaker grit with Hale polish. The hook sank. He knew fragments, Crow's boasts over boozy pitches, but not the full rot. I feigned interest, dangling board access. Hidden cam words silently, capturing every tick. Prove loyalty, I said. Ditch the revenge app. Too messy. He hesitated, then nodded. Lie. Post-meeting, I traced his phone. Pings to Vegas.
To her. Victoria.
My husk consorting with my son. The ultimate fuck you. Rita confirmed over encrypted video. She's building a rival op, swaps for the underclass. Equity in eternity, she calls it. Ex-cons. Immigrants. The discarded. Funding from Ethan's marks, dark money funneled through shells. My stomach nodded. Victoria. In my skin scarred. Weathered, preaching revolution? The irony burned. She'd stolen my body to play savior. Twisting my pain into propaganda. Protests at Hale HQ morphed. Now Hale for all. Chants demanding neural access. My empire fracturing from within. Marcus grew distant. Late nights networking. Perfume on collars. Suspicion festered. Was he in on Victoria's endgame? A quick audit, Hale ledgers, showed anomalies. $2 million siphoned to offshore R&D. His signature. Betrayals Hydra. Heads sprouting everywhere. I confronted him in the wine cellar. Bottles rack after rack, like guilty verdicts. Who's the ghost account for? Mark. He blanched. Merlot sloshing. Vic.
It's
Diversification. Your health scare. We need backups. Backups. Like me. I slapped him, first violence, palm stinging, and stormed out, calling Jax for tails. Ethan's integration accelerated. Junior exec title. Office in the tower. He charmed the drones team, pitching ethical AI with salesmanship. I watched via feeds, while rising as he flirted with interns, my old moves. Weaponized. Lunch meetings turned interrogations. Tell me about the swap.
Mom.
Painful? I dodged. Probing back. Victoria knew her well. His laugh. Investor.
Sharp.
Said you were. Pliable. Pliable. The word she'd used in memos. Rage simmered. Climax coiling. Vegas showdown loomed. Rita's intel. Victoria's clinic. Abandoned casino basement. Slots gutted for servers. I flew private. Jax in tow. Arsenalite. Trank darts. EMP for drones. Desert heat baked the strip. Neon a migraine haze. Infiltration. Service tunnels reeking of mold and regret. Voices echoed. Accents thick. Stories raw. A Guatemalan mom. Deported once. Promised reunion via swap. Victoria held court. My face gaunt under fluorescence. Preaching. Hale hoards immortality. We democratize. Her eyes, my eyes, locked on mine as I burst in. Jax covering. Hazel, she purred. No surprise. Come to trade back? Standoff stretched. Tension electric. You framed me, I accused. Gun, Victoria's pearl-handled Derringer, steady. Groomed him. Stole everything. She smiled. Teeth bared. You stole first my body. My throne. Ethan's ours. Not yours. Ours? The reveal gutted. She'd seduced him years back. Not mentor, lover. Incestuous rot. Hidden in boardroom euphemisms. He's the father of my child, she whispered. No, mine. Frozen in vitro from pre-prison days. Her insurance. Twist inverted. Ethan. My son. Sired a sibling in shadows. Controversy's abyss. Jack started her. But she lunged, my old reflexes, tackling me into servers. Sparks flew. Alarms wailed. Struggle blurred. Fists. Nails. Screams in dual voices. Give it back, I roared. Never. Her echo in my head amplified. Neural war. Jax separated us. Zip-tying her husk. Victory?
Pyrrhic.
As Fed swarmed, tipped by Crow's dead man's switch, Ethan appeared. Face ashen.
Mom?
What the? Feds stormed the casino like a bad heist flick. Black vests. Barking orders. Ziplines from vents for dramatic effect. Victoria, in my body, thrashed against Jax's hold. Cursing in Spanglish picked up from her recruits. Puta traidora, you think this ends me? Her eyes, my eyes, burned with hail fire. Not Whitaker grit. Ethan stood frozen in the doorway, face draining to ghost white, the derringer dangling from his fingers where I'd dropped it. Ethan, I gasped, scrambling up. Victoria's dress torn, blonde strands matted with sweat. Tell them it's me. Your mom. He stared. Back and forth, me and her skin. Her and mine, like a funhouse mirror cracked. Sirens wailed closer. Chopper blades thwopping overhead. Choice crystallized him. The pivot. But he bolted. Shoulder check to Fed. Vaulted a slot machine. Vanished into service corridors. Betrayal's final cut. Deeper than the frame. The disownment. Blood. He'd said.
Lies.
Jax dragged Victoria out. Her laughter cackling. He chose right. Hazel. Always mine. Feds cuffed me too. MS. Hale. You're under arrest for everything. Murder. Fraud. Conspiracy. The squad car ride blurred. Vegas lights streaking. Questions pummeling. Who's the stiff in Barstow? Crow? Lab rat. I clammed up, lawyering via Marcus's Rolodex. But inside, hollow. Revenge's climax. A farce. Empire crumbling. Son scampering like the rat he was. Interrogation room. Fluorescent hell. Two-way mirror mocking. Agent Reyes. Latina with cop eyes soft under steel. Slid coffee black. No sugar. How I'd always taken it. Hazel Whitaker? Or Victoria Hale? We've got Crow's logs. Body cams from the bunker. Spill. Or it's life for both. I sipped. Burn grounding. Confession poured. The frame. The swap. Victoria's web. Tapes from the sunroom. Ethan's admissions sealed it. He knew, I whispered. All along. Reyes nodded. No judgment. Family's a bitch. Hours ticked. Dawn broke as they wheeled Victoria in my husk. Defiant in orange jumpsuit. Our eyes met across the table. Twins in hell. Twist time, she sneered. Ethan's not yours. IVF switched lab error. I birthed him. Hazel. Your egg. My womb. Proxy mom. Reversal gutted. My son. Her creation. Biology's cruel joke. Marcus bailed me. Fidelity's last gasp. Lawyers swarming like locusts. Hale Dynamics imploded. Board ousted me. Shares tanked on scandal. Protests peaked. Justice for the swapped. Turning riot. I vanished to a Malibu safe house. Rita's bolt hole. Waves crashing judgment. Ethan surfaced on X. Manifesto vid. Face haggard. The elite steal souls. I fight back for mom. Which? Lies layered. He vanished again. Whispers of a cartel tie-in. Revenge app morphed to underground swaps. Months blurred. Trials merged. Victoria pleading insanity. Neural possession. Me testifying as ghost.
Judge.
Grizzled Yankee. Eyed us warily. Science fiction in my court? Spare me. Conviction stuck. Her for murder. Me for fraud, house arrest. Ankle monitor chafing Victoria's ankle bone. Marcus? Divorced. Alimony of fortune. But his eyes haunted. Who is the real you? Vic. No answer satisfied. Ending? Debatable. One dawn. Ethan appeared at the safe house gate. No security. Just fog and salt air. Gaunt. Tattooed now. Phoenix on his neck. Mocking. Mom, he said. No prefix. Or whoever. Truce. Hand extended. USB drive. Crow's final code. Reversal protocol. Fix it. Be you again. Trap? Redemption? I took it. Fingers brushing his electric. Blood or not.
Why?
He shrugged. American as apple pie regret. Family's what we make. Even monsters. He walked into mist. Ghosting again.
I didn't upload.
Kept the shell. Victoria's power. Hazel's fire. Mansion sold. Proceeds to Equity Eternal. Anonymous fund for swaps victims. Rita runs it. Reforming the rot.
Me?
I write this. First-person truth. For the courts. The curious.
Happy?
Tragic? You debate. Revenge? A mirror? Shattering illusions. But in quiet nights. Her echo fades. Victoria's whisper. Thief.
No.
Survivor. And if Ethan returns? Security's off. Doors cracked. Blood calls. Controversial as sin.